In the world of cybersecurity, we can't just guess. We can't rely on feelings or old habits. The threats we face are just too real, too sophisticated, and honestly, too damaging. To protect our systems and data, we need a plan. We need a structured, repeatable process that is built on solid evidence. Think about it for a second. Would you build a house without a blueprint? Of course not. You need a plan to make sure it's strong and safe. Cybersecurity is no different. We need a framework that guides our decisions, helps us identify real risks, and proves that our security controls are actually working. This isn't just about avoiding fines. It's about building a defense that can truly stand up to an attack. For a long time, security assessments were not very reliable. They often felt like a painful audit that didn't accomplish much. We relied on interviews where people could say what they thought you wanted to hear. We used self-assessment checklists where teams could check a box without providing any real proof. This led to a lot of problems. Different teams would assess risks in completely different ways, creating inconsistency across the organization. You might have one department with a strong security posture and another with massive hidden vulnerabilities. This created a false sense of security. We were checking boxes, but we weren't actually becoming more secure. We needed a better way. This is where the Risk Management Framework, or RMF, comes in. Developed by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, the RMF is a game changer. It's a comprehensive 7-step process that gives organizations a structured way to manage cybersecurity risk. It's not just for government agencies anymore. Businesses of all sizes are adopting it. Why? Because it moves us away from that old, unreliable checklist mentality. The RMF forces us to think critically about our specific systems, the data they hold, and the actual threats they face. It demands evidence. It's a unified language for risk that everyone in the organization can understand, from the tech team in the server room to the executives in the boardroom. The core idea behind the RMF is simple but powerful. Make security decisions based on real-world risk, not just compliance requirements. It provides a disciplined and structured process that integrates security and risk management activities into the system development lifecycle. This means we build security in from the very beginning, rather than trying to bolt it on at the end. The RMF gives us a clear roadmap to follow, ensuring that we identify, implement, and assess security controls in a consistent and thorough manner. It's about creating a living, breathing security program that adapts to new threats and business needs, ensuring our defenses are always relevant and effective. So, how does the RMF actually work? It's broken down into 7 clear steps that guide you from start to finish. The first step is prepare. This is the foundational work. At this stage, you get your organization ready to manage risk. You identify key roles like who is responsible for the system, and you develop a company-wide risk management strategy. This is also where you start thinking about what systems are critical to your business. It's all about setting the stage and making sure everyone understands their part in the security process before you even look at a single server. This preparation is crucial for a smooth and effective process. Next up is categorize. In this step, you figure out how important a system is. You look at the information it processes, stores, and transmits. Then, you determine the impact, low, moderate, or high, if that information were to be compromised. For example, a public-facing marketing website might have a low impact if it goes down, but a system holding customer financial data would have a high impact. This categorization is critical because it dictates how much security you need. You don't protect a public blog with the same level of security as your core financial database. This step ensures you focus your resources where they matter most. Once you know the system's category, you move to the select step. Based on the categorization, you choose an initial set of security controls from the NIST catalog. These are the specific safeguards and countermeasures you'll use to protect the system. Think of things like encryption, access controls, and firewalls. The RMF gives you a baseline to start with, but it's not rigid. You can and should tailor these controls based on your organization's specific risks and environment. This step is about picking the right tools for the job, ensuring your security measures are appropriate for the level of risk you identified earlier. The final 4 steps bring the plan to life. Implement is where you put the selected security controls in place. Assess is where you test them to make sure they are working correctly. This is the evidence-gathering phase. Then comes authorize, where a senior leader officially accepts the risk of operating the system. Finally, monitor is the ongoing process of watching the system, checking for new risks, and making sure your controls stay effective over time. Security is never done, and this step makes the RMF a continuous cycle, not a one-time event. It ensures your security posture remains strong as threats evolve and your systems change. One of the biggest benefits of the RMF is how it forces teams to work together. In many organizations, there's a wall between the IT operations team and the cybersecurity team. It is focused on keeping systems running and available. Cybersecurity is focused on locking things down and preventing breaches. These goals can sometimes conflict, creating friction and mistrust. The RMF breaks down these silos by creating a shared mission and a common language. Suddenly, both teams are looking at the same framework, working towards the same goal, managing risk in a way that supports the business. Let's look at a practical example. During the implement step, the cybersecurity team selects a control, like requiring multi-factor authentication for all administrative accounts. In the old way of doing things, they might just push this policy out, and the IT team would have to figure out how to make it work, maybe breaking things in the process. With the RMF, it's a collaboration. The cybersecurity team explains why multi-factor authentication is necessary based on the system's risk category. The IT operations team provides input on the best way to roll it out without disrupting critical services. They work together to choose a solution, plan the deployment, and communicate it to users. This collaboration is built on shared documentation and evidence. During the assess step, it's not just the cybersecurity team running scans and pointing out flaws. The IT team is an active participant. They help provide the evidence that controls are implemented correctly. For instance, to prove that server patching is happening on time, the IT team can provide patch management logs and reports. This evidence goes into the system security plan, a living document that both teams contribute to and rely on. It's no longer a game of gotcha. It becomes a partnership where both teams are accountable for producing the proof of security. This teamwork builds trust. When the IT operations team sees that the cybersecurity team understands their challenges and is willing to work with them, the relationship changes. It starts to see security not as a roadblock, but as a partner in building resilient, reliable systems. They start proactively thinking about security implications when planning new projects. This shift is huge. It moves security from being an afterthought to being an integral part of the IT lifecycle. The RMF provides the structure for these conversations to happen, turning adversaries into allies who share ownership of the organization's security posture. The RMF does more than just improve teamwork. It makes cybersecurity visible and valuable to management. For too long, cybersecurity has been seen as a cost center, a black box where money goes in, but clear results don't come out. The RMF changes this by making security measurable. When you can present a senior leader with a clear authorization package that shows a system's risk level, the controls in place, and the evidence that they work, you are speaking their language. You are justifying your budget not with fear, but with data. This allows leaders to make informed decisions about risk acceptance. It's crucial to remember that the RMF is not a rigid checklist. Treating it like one is a recipe for failure. The framework is designed to be flexible and adaptable. Your organization is unique, and your implementation of the RMF should be too. You have to tailor the controls and processes to fit your specific technology, your people, and your mission. If a recommended control doesn't make sense for a particular system, the framework allows you to document why and select an alternative. This requires critical thinking and collaboration, not blind compliance. The goal is genuine risk reduction, not just checking off a list to satisfy an auditor. Ultimately, a well-implemented RMF builds something far more valuable than a secure network. It builds trust. When your organization can demonstrate a mature, evidence-based approach to managing risk, it builds confidence with everyone. Customers trust you with their data. Employees feel secure working within your systems, and leadership trusts that their investment in cybersecurity is paying off, protecting the organization's reputation and bottom line. This transparency creates a culture of accountability, where everyone understands their role in protecting the business from the server room to the boardroom. The RMF is more than a set of rules. It's a strategic guide for building a resilient organization. By moving beyond outdated compliance methods and embracing a structured, collaborative, and evidence-based approach, we do more than just manage risk. We build a foundation of trust that strengthens the entire business. It transforms cybersecurity from a technical problem into a core business function, ensuring that as we innovate and grow, we do so securely. This framework provides the blueprint for a safer digital future, one where security and trust are built into everything we do. Text 850-333-6141 to start your RMF transformation with ControlTower.biz. That's 850-333-6141.